This is my third attempt at recording this video today because my computer just is not agreeing with me. So, I went to MEPS this weekend. I passed through everything. I'm officially in DEP with the Auburn recruiting office, and I'm excited. So, I had to stay at the hotel, even though I live in Montgomery, which is where the MEPS station is. I didn't really have a choice. I don't know. It was weird. But we stayed at probably the nicest hotel in Montgomery, Alabama. So nice. I had to be there at 6 on Sunday, and we had a briefing sort of thing at 8 o'clock. It was this really old video about MEPS and like what you do. Like probably from the 90s. Like, it was bad. But, I had a roommate. She was super nice. She was actually shipping out Monday to go to Army Basic Training in Fort Jackson. She was National Guard. She was really nice. It was cool. I didn't know if I was going to have a roommate because I thought we had to check in at 6, and it was like 7:30 and no one was there, so I was like, I'm going to take a shower. So of course she showed up when I was in the shower, but she was super cool. We ate dinner. It wasn't that great. Maybe because like dinner started at 5 and we ate at 7:30. I don't know. It wasn't that great though. Okay. Yep. I had to wake up at 3:30 to get ready. Just wore a like long sleeve sort of, it wasn't dressy, but it wasn't a t-shirt either. And I regretted the long sleeves. You have to wear a bra that clips in the back, and conservative underwear. I just wore a pair of like the Victoria's Secret like boy shorts underwear with like the elastic at the top. It's fine, no one said anything. You have to wear closed-toed shoes, you have to wear socks, appropriate jeans, like no holes. My recruiter told me not to wear nail polish, but there was a girl who had nail polish on and no one said anything to her. Take out your earrings, your belly button rings, anything you got. All the rings. Don't wear jewelry. I did wear my watch, and no one really said anything. I only had to take it off to take the DLAB, which I'll get to because it's an electronic. So we get there, and the systems are down. So they didn't have any of the Air Force people. They were like, so raise your hand if we didn't say your name, and like, 10 people were like, hey, and they're like, what branch are you? And everyone's like, Air Force. So we had to go upstairs to our, to the Air Force office and get them to send them some form or whatever, but the systems were down, so that was probably what that was all about. We had to have like handwritten name tags, and all of the people were so confused because they didn't know like what we needed, I guess, or what we were there for. Yeah, so we get our medical files, I guess. They were like these gray files. Me and 2 other girls, and I think there were 2 guys, ended up having to handwrite a bunch of stuff in. I'm not sure if that was because the systems were down and they missed something, or if our recruiters did something. Don't know. It was a little annoying. So we went downstairs and they were like, we don't know what to do with you. What do you need? Do you here for a full physical? Blah. And we were just like, I don't know. I'm not shipping anywhere. So I guess I need a full physical. So they sent us back upstairs to medical. They were getting all the shippers out first, so they put everybody else in a room for the commander's briefing and the medical briefing. The guy came in for the commander's briefing, and he's really funny. He was like, well, the systems are down, so I guess I'm just gonna wing this because we don't have the PowerPoint. He was like, well, in case of an active shooter, you 3 are dead. You're just dead in the front row. Blah. And he was really funny. I'm sure he was being facetious, but it was nice. Then we had the medical briefing, basically like, don't lie to us, I don't care what your recruiter said, blah. If you're gonna lie to somebody, that's your prerogative. I don't think I lied about anything, so I wasn't concerned about it. We went through all the briefing. We had to fill out a bunch of paperwork. Anything about tattoos, you had to like describe them. Poor guy in the back had like not like whole sleeves, but like half sleeves, so he was writing for a while. Once that was done, they came around and they did breathalyzers, and they did all the guys first, I guess, because there's a ton of them, and then they went back and did the girls. There were only 5 of us, And we were all Air Force, 3 active duty, 2 reserves. Whatever. They were all really cool. I actually got a few of their numbers, and we're just gonna like keep up and everything. So that's nice. Then we went to the medical stuff. We did blood pressure first. That was fine. We did vision, also fine. I have glasses, but they're like a very, very, very like small prescription. So I wasn't really sure if I needed them, but they told me to have them anyway, so I brought them. I passed depth perception. My only advice for that is don't just like rapid fire your answers. Like just give your eyes a minute to adjust, because it is weird. Like, because you can almost like, you can see, you have to let them focus together, I think is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, the moving your head back and forth a little, like letting your eyes adjust to it really, really helped. Yeah, so that was good. You know, the colored vision stuff. They actually wrote on my paper that I have 20/20 vision, which I thought was funny because I do have a glasses prescription, so I guess I don't have 20/20 vision, but I guess it's like 19.5 or something, so that's close enough. But yeah, I passed on my vision stuff. We went from there to audio. Yeah, we did the hearing test. That was a little nerve-wracking because it makes you second guess yourself. So it's like beep, 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 beep. So it goes like, it's timed, and so once it gets past a certain point, you're like, did it stop or am I deaf? You know, but for real, like rapid fire that thing. I mean, to an extent, if you think you hear something, click that button. It was fine. I guess I passed it. You're staring at these medical documents all day that have these just obscure numbers that mean nothing to you, and you're just like, does that mean I'm okay? Am I deaf? You know, like, what do I do? So yeah. We went from there, we went to the female exam stuff, we did the urinalysis, which wasn't as awkward as I expected it to be, until I had to hand my pee to a man through a window. That was weird. And it was awkward because, like, I don't know if you ladies agree with me, but peeing in a cup is a lot more difficult if you're a woman versus being a man. How do you aim that crap? I don't know. But peed in a cup. My sugar was fine. I'm not pregnant. Praise Jesus, hallelujah. So I guess all that was fine. They finally let us wash our hands. They made us sign things and touch these papers, but then they wouldn't let us touch our medical documents until we washed our hands. So I'm just like, isn't that kind of a contradiction? Why don't you just let me wash my hands after I pee? Like, whatever. Then we all, you know, stripped down to your bras and panties, did like the exercises. There were 5 of us, and we did them all together, and she just, like, rapid fire was like, touch your fingers, put your arms out, touch your nose, like, put your arms down, squat 3 times, hit your knees to the ground, do the duck walk. It was fine. Like, she didn't really say anything to us. We all just went through it really fast. I was afraid because my knees didn't hit the ground at the same time, like, oh, are they gonna disqualify me? But no one said anything. I don't know. I'm super knock-kneed, you know, I was afraid that, like, they're gonna be like, girl, you built too weird for the Air Force, I'm sorry. Hit the road. But, yeah, that went fine. We put our clothes back on, we went and got our blood drawn, and this whole time, it's just been so hot. Not, like, hot to the point that you're just, like, sweating and dying, but just hot enough to where it's uncomfortable and you feel like you need to fan yourself. And I'm wearing a long-sleeve shirt, and they have to draw my blood. So I was, like, pulling my thing up. I don't know if you can still see it. For them to draw my blood. And I'm just notoriously bad about getting my blood drawn. It's not that I hate needles or that I'm scared or anything, but people have always had trouble finding my veins. And so I was kind of like, please don't let them stab me like 6 times. Just one and done, let's get it. But this dude was like a pro. You know, he like tourniquet, tied it, tapped a little, stabbed me, and was like, yep, there it is. And I'm just like, dude, props to you. Like, if I ever need blood drawn, I'm coming to this guy. Yeah. Went back to the female exam room. We met with a doctor who basically was like, have you ever done drugs? Is this a medical thing? Well, have you ever broken any bones? Blah, 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 blah. And he asked you about any, like, yeses that you'd put on the paper. And I had 2. I'm allergic to penicillin, and I had this parasite when I was little, and I expected people to be like all up in my grill about this parasite thing because it was just weird, and I don't know, but they were all fascinated by it. Like, I got so many questions like, oh, that's really interesting. How did you get that? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, I was 3. I don't know. So yeah. He was nice, and he was like, oh, you're from Adairsville, Georgia. Like, oh, my daughter's moving somewhere near there. My son-in-law and daughter-in-law, I don't know. It was funny. They were really nice. And we thought that he was the guy that was going to do, like, the physical exam, you know what I'm talking about? But he wasn't. We left that room, and she told us to, you know, get back in our underwear, and I was like, why didn't we do the underwear things together? But beggars can't be choosers. And then she put these little gowns on us and like tied them, and they looked like really ugly, like homecoming dresses. And we had to take off our underwear underneath the gown, so we're all just chilling there in these like little plastic paper things. One of the girls put like, cause it had sleeves, you know? So she put the sleeves on, and the girl was like, no, put it back how I had it. So she's like, you know, whoops. But then in walked the oldest man I have ever seen. Like, hunched, old, like, little man, like, the sweetest looking little grandpa you've ever seen. And he was like, oh, you know, whatever the nurse's name was, like, are you guys ready for the physical exams? And we were all just like, him? He's the one doing this, you know? But it was fine. They didn't, like, I mean, they did, like, the breast exam, but it was very, like, not invasive. It didn't even get close to, you know, the lady bits. He, like, you know, felt my stomach, maybe, like, touched, like, the very top, and was like, cough, which, as a woman, I've never been asked to cough. You know, that's usually a man thing. Whatever. He was like, I'm gonna look at your feet. He looked at my feet. Signed the paper that I, to my knowledge, I didn't lie about anything. And that was it for medical. Yeah. So, I went from there, I went back to my liaison's office, and I actually had to take the DLAB, something language aptitude battery. I don't know what the D stands for. But, it was just to see if I qualified for linguist jobs. It was a very weird test. I had looked it up some, but I guess they've changed it since the videos I watched about it were. I made a 90, I think, and you had to have a 100, so I didn't pass it. It was a really annoying test. It was like there were 4 parts. The first part was like, are you good at language? It was like 10 like self-evaluation questions almost. The second part was the audio part, and you can look the audio part up. It hasn't changed, it's the same. They like make up a language, and you sort of have to use the rules to make it an English thing. Whatever. But then it was like math. There were like lines and squares, and you had to add and subtract numbers, and then you had to like patterns with shapes and colors. Like, it was weird. But I got done with that. Went back to my liaison's office. I had to go get fingerprinted, and I had to go get asked more questions by whoever. Yeah. DEP interview is what it was called. And it was just like, who do you want to be in charge of your remains should you die? Sorry, Mom, I answered you for all of them, so you're taking care of my last paycheck, you're taking care of my burial expenses, you're gonna identify my body. Sorry, Mom. Poor lady. But yeah, did that. He was really funny. He ended up being the guy that helped us swear in later, but I'll get there. Went back upstairs. He printed off a list of all of our jobs that we had qualified for, and I had like 7 pages of jobs, and I'm like, yo, this is way too many, like, options. There was one whole page where it all looked like the exact same thing, and I think it was like maintenance stuff, and I had no clue. Not an earthly clue what it was. So we looked at jobs, we went back in once we picked some of them, and he talked to us about it. I really wanted to do broadcast journalism, and my recruiter explained to me that it's like the magic unicorn of jobs, like, good luck. But we'll see. It's not the end of the world if I don't get it. Right. But he told me, my recruiter told me that I had to put it on my list at MEPS and in order to get an audition for it, but they told me that I had to audition for it in order to put it on my list at MEPS. So I couldn't put it on my list, but I'm still going to audition for it. My recruiter's got to talk to somebody on Maxwell Air Force Base to set up an audition time. So I have to go to Maxwell, read a script in front of a camera, they send that somewhere, and then they tell me yes or no. I don't know. So, yes. So I had to pick something else, and I was just like, I don't know what else to do. So I just put, like, my jobs were diet therapy, medical, never in a million years will I get it, photojournalism, personnel, weather, client systems, NDI, and then my open category was electrical. And that's when we picked 6 regular jobs, and then you had to pick 1 open category. So we did that. In the middle of me talking to him about it, I got called to go swear in. So we went in, the dude told us about Articles 83, 84, and 85. Like, don't desert, don't go AWOL, and don't lie about your enlistment. Fraudulent enlistment. Don't do it. Yeah. So then we swore in, you know, he told everybody, like, attention, parade rest, attention, parade rest. And I'm pretty sure they taught us Army parade rest. I don't think it's the same. So, we shall see. But I did band for like 10 years, so I kind of knew what attention was. I checked with my boyfriend, it's the same. At least my marching band, the attention position's the same as theirs. So it was funny watching everybody like, oh, what do I do with my hands? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I got your attention position. Raise your right hand, I state your name here. We had some stupid kid say, I state your name here. And I was just like, bruh, you had to be that guy. I'm 23. Everybody else was 17 to 19 for the most part, so I was kind of like, Grandma Emily. We swore in. It was really neat. Got our things, like signed our debt contract, went back upstairs, finished filling out my job things. They actually offered me 2 jobs. They were like intelligence jobs, and they sounded cool, but they were before my leave date. My leave dates, or my availability date is July 22nd right now. It may move up to sometime in June, depending on when I get done with college. But yeah. So that was my day. I had to call my boyfriend to get him to come, like, check me out almost, because I lived there and I didn't want to get shuttled back to, like, Auburn. That would have been not good. So he came and got me, and the guy was like, no, stand on this side of the wall. And I'm like, ugh, like I'm not trying to sneak out, I promise. So he checked me out. I threw my name tag in the trash, and I was like, I'm leaving with him. Cool. And then we left. But yeah, overall, not a bad day. Long, tired, but I passed. My recruiter called me, and we talked a little bit about job things and the broadcasting. So yeah. It was fun. I'm in depth, and I'm really excited. I'll probably make some videos about choosing jobs, like PT stuff. I am so excited to make a what to bring to basic training video. I don't know why, but I love those videos. Like, I literally just watched them for no reason. Even like Army and Navy ones, just because I just love them. So I'm really looking forward to making more stuff now that this is a little more, like, concrete, I guess. I guess I should probably tell people that I'm joining the Air Force now. Yeah. Like, my friends and family know, but, like, somebody texted me today because I said something about MEPS, and they're like, MEPS? Why are you at MEPS? And I'm just like, oh, by the way, I'm joining the Air Force. My boyfriend's leaving June 1st, and I'm a little sad now that that's a little more real. But hey, life's a crazy journey. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So, yeah, that's what's new in my life. Thanks you guys for watching, and let me know. Tips, suggestions. Hopefully I can film things on my computer next time and it won't explode. It keeps crashing. I don't. Alright, well, it's nice talking to you.